Hi, this is Curt, and welcome to another edition of Fire Law Roundup.
My favorite
The
of the
most,
week, anyway.
yeah, the most timely one you get. And look, before I go here, I've had this case, not with Santa, but I have a case like this, and my advice was you throw the operator out of the department. So I'm not overly sympathetic to the fire department on this. I apologize. My bias is going to come out, but let's just throw this out. The fire department goes and asks a man to be Santa Claus. He dresses up as Santa. He's on the front of, I think, an aerial, and probably a
Aerial,
big,
yeah, it's on the front bumper, the aerial.
yeah, and probably a big, deep well. I don't know. I haven't seen the bumper, but these bumpers are big. So sometimes they have tools and equipment. So it's sitting Santa on it. And so they're driving down the street with Santa on the bumper, and they hit a pothole or something. I imagine he comes off, and they run him over. I think did they run over?
Well, I think, I mean, again, the complaint doesn't clearly explain what happened, but I believe what happened was, as I envision it, his feet were dangling over the bumper. So he's sitting on the bumper, his feet are dangling over the bumper. They go over something that it's called a drainage channel cut, whatever a drainage channel cut is. And apparently it causes the front end of the truck to lower, causing the man's foot to, I guess, hit the ground and then get dragged under the truck's bumper. And now he's got some pretty significant injuries requiring surgery and
fractures, etc. So this was just, look, I'm going to tell you what everybody's going to tell you probably, right? Who lectures on the stuff. This was stupid. You don't put someone on the front bumper. I'm sorry, Oregon. You probably feel the same way now, the fire department. Yeah, but let's use as a learning lesson. You do not put people on the front bumper. We don't ride on the back bumper anymore either, for a reason, right? But you don't put someone on the front bumper. And this is not the first time this has happened. I just had one at a parade, and the person fell off and got ran over, and they're like, well, what do we do? I said, well, you're going to pay them eventually, but for now, you're going to suspend or discipline whatever officer and operator thought that was a good idea. I don't even know how to say it, but this brings up a more interesting lecture we should do, because I just watched another video put out there to the public. Hey, this is Santa Claus, but he's on top of the engine, and they mounted some sort of chair on the LDH channels on the top of the engine. And look, he's on there, whatever, but can you imagine they hit a tree branch, they hit a power line, they hit a bump and it falls off. Stop putting Santa on the top of our trucks. Put him in the driver's seat. He can wave, right, with a seatbelt or whatever. But I just, it drives me nuts that we're still doing this.
Yeah. In fact, I recall some folks questioning whether or not OSHA's elevation requirement and restraint requirement would apply to firefighters on top of the apparatus when they're doing things like pack and hose, which I think is kind of crazy. But on the other hand, maybe it's not. But
he's not interesting a firefighter.
Here, most of OSHA, in fact, all of OSHA, is limited to employees. You can put citizens at risk, at least under OSHA, now liability wise. But so that raises the question, if this person was a firefighter, certainly now you've got some different considerations and defenses as well, versus if it is a civilian. It wasn't entirely clear to me. I'm assuming it was a civilian, but it's not entirely clear to me that he was not affiliated with the department.
I got to tell you what I'm shocked about is it made it to a lawsuit.
Yeah,
I really am shocked, and quickly too. But I'm shocked it made it to a lawsuit. I mean, this occurred in December 24th, of course, of 2020, right? So we're 2 years. But how is this? I get how it's filed now, right? Mm-hmm. But how did they not come to a conclusion on at least liability, right? So people know you can admit liability and then sue over damages only. I'm curious, how there's no agreement on liability here, but maybe there's some legal issues. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe you said, maybe it's a firefighter and they say you can't sue your employer, or who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? So, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But I assume this is going all the way through lawsuit, because after 2 years, you can't settle something like this. I'm a little shocked. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it is in court. It's in the circuit court for the county of Umatilla. So.
Yeah. I don't know how it made it there. But again, this seems like pretty open, cut and dry.